Deep in the heart of the dense jungle, where survival depends on instinct and adaptability, Bruce Lee's philosophy of combat takes on a whole new meaning. His innovations in martial arts were not just about controlled environments like dojos or competition rings, they were rooted in real-world application efficiency, fluidity, and improvisation. But how would his principles fare in jungle warfare, where the terrain is unpredictable and every movement could mean life or death? The philosophy of adaptation in combat. Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune JKD was built on the idea of adaptability. Be like water, he famously said, in a jungle environment, where uneven ground, dense foliage, and natural obstacles are ever present, traditional stances and rigid forms would be a disadvantage. Instead, Lee's emphasis on fluidity would allow a fighter to move effortlessly between attack and defense, adjusting to the environment in real time. His concept of intercepting an opponent's attack would be especially useful in jungle combat. Given the element of surprise in such environments, the ability to react in an instant using minimal movement for maximum effect could mean survival. By utilizing swift counterattacks, footwork, and economy of motion, Bruce Lee's methods would outmatch anyone relying on brute force or rigid techniques. Jungle combat techniques inspired by Bruce Lee. Footwork and mobility. The jungle floor is unstable, with roots, rocks, and wet surfaces creating hazards. Lee's focus on dynamic footwork would allow a fighter to stay balanced and move quickly. His low, agile stance would enable rapid shifts in direction, preventing an opponent from gaining an advantage. Silent strikes and economy of motion. In an environment where stealth is key, excessive movement or flashy techniques would be a liability. Bruce Lee's philosophy of using only necessary energy, the art of fighting without fighting, would mean conserving stamina and striking only when needed. A single precise strike to a vulnerable point, like the throat or joints, could disable an opponent instantly. Weapon improvisation. Jungle survival often requires the use of available resources. Lee's philosophy of adaptability would extend to weapons using branches as eskrima sticks, vines for trapping, or even rocks for distraction. His training in multiple martial arts weapons, including nunchaku and koli sticks, would provide the skill set to turn natural elements into tools of combat. Grappling and ground fighting. In close quarters combat, grappling is inevitable. Lee trained in wrestling and judo, making him effective in ground engagements. In jungle combat, where the ground is unpredictable, knowing how to reverse holds and escape quickly would be crucial. The ultimate test, a hypothetical scenario. Imagine Bruce Lee entering the jungle, facing a group of trained survivalist fighters as he moves through the thick foliage.